A small group of Northwestern students recently had a rare opportunity. As part of their freshman seminar class, they took crayon-colored kayaks for excursions on Lake Michigan and the Chicago River, all in an effort to learn why water and the land helped make Chicago the city it is today. Come along on the journey.
A group of 16 of us studied Lake Michigan and the Chicago River with our idea to understand how the natural environment, which in Chicago is primarily Lake Michigan and the river, affected the whole development of our community. We started off by visiting the lighthouse at the north end of campus, which is a beautiful historical site that very few Northwestern students actually go in. We toured the lighthouse and learned about its history and the history of shipwrecks there. Then the next weekend, we took our boats and we put them right in here on campus and paddled up along the lakefront. Got a beautiful view of the campus, but also a sense of just, even with the small waves, just how big and how powerful the lake is. The thing perhaps more than anything else we were trying to get people to understand is that Chicago is here. All 5 million of us are here because Chicago is the only place in the United States where you can get from the Great Lakes to the Mississippi River. So our human development here is entirely a result of our geological development. We're trying to do something different and something interesting. When you come to college, it's a whole new experience. We're trying to help them connect with the city at a cultural level and also with the natural environment. Our next trip, we rented boats from Chicago Kayak. We launched right into the Chicago River at the north end of Goose Island, and then we paddled down the Chicago River. And it's interesting, we start off in the warehouses and the more industrial part, and then all of a sudden we're in the loop, and we see the huge buildings above us, and then we come to the point where the river splits 3 ways. There's the north branch that we came down, the south branch that goes ahead of us toward Chinatown, and the main stem, which goes out toward the lake. So we talk about the river both as an artery of commerce in and of itself, and also as the catalyst for the growth of the city. One of the nicest things is our turnaround was right here at Marina City. So we looked at Marina City. That was a great, famous piece of architecture of its time. It's one of the symbols of Chicago. And then at the same time, we were looking at the Trump Tower, which is one of the new symbols of Chicago. The idea was to realize that there's kind of a continuum here, realistically speaking, starting at the ice ages and the formation of the Great Lakes and taking us all the way to our present economy. So when you look at the river, it looks like a very unnatural environment with all these huge buildings built by the side of it. And you tend to think, well, this has nothing to do with nature. But in reality, it has everything to do with nature because the river is why all of this is here.